Welcome everybody to this demo about frame by frame animation, okay? Frame by frame animation, is the closest thing digitally that we have to the way we used to animate, um, like historically, okay? The way Disney used to animate, okay? So it's the closest thing to that, okay? In my opinion, it's a little tedious. I prefer video animation, but I think it's important to know how to do both. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new file. So I'm going to click the home, new file. I already have this custom one made, but the first thing we want to do is name. I'm going to name it animation. I'm going to do version 1 because there will be 2 versions. There will be the frame by frame, and then there will be the video, which will be version 2. So the important part is that it is in a landscape format, that the width is 1920, so 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels high, so 1080 pixels high. Okay, resolution 300, RGB color is fine. We'll click create. Okay. So right off the bat, I want to change the background because the color is just too high contrast for my eyes. And when we're animating, we want to be really, really mindful that we don't create things that strobe. And the reason for that is people can be sensitive to that type of imagery, and it can make people feel sick or worse. So we really want to be very mindful that we do not create strobing things. And if we do intentionally, we warn people ahead of time, okay? That way, if anybody has sensitivities, they don't have to watch it, okay? So if you choose to move forward with frame by frame animation or in your video animation, try your best to not get it to strobe, okay? So we're gonna click OK. And right off the bat, I'm going to just unlock the background. I've changed my color to kind of a nice cool blue, and I'm just going to grab my paint bucket and fill that in. Okay. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to create an easy picture so that I can replicate it and the demo won't take too long. Okay. So I'm going to pick a hard round brush. Okay. And the size, let's reduce the size just a little bit. Okay. And that all looks good. So I do want to change the color so we can see it. And how that is not what I want. I want the eraser. I see what's going on. Oh, I see. So when I want to pick this one, it wants to go to eraser. So that's fine. We will just pick in the general brushes. Okay, so I guess in this library, when I chose this was an eraser. Okay, and I can actually see that the icon is eraser. So if you approach a situation like that, just go to your general brushes in your brush library and pick hard round. Okay, I'm going to reduce the size, and I'm ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to create a dot. All right, and then I'm going to add a few more layers. I'm going to add 8, but feel free to add, however many you choose. And I'm just going to go and pick these different layers. So I have my first layer selected. I have a dot drawn on it. Now I'm going to select layer 2. I'm just going to draw a dot similar but in a different position. It could be growing, it could be moving from one point to another, just something different than this initial dot. Now I'm going to go to layer 2, create another dot, layer 3, Another dot. Layer 4. Layer 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay, so now I have one of these circles or dots on each layer. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go in and I want to fill in the backgrounds to each dot. Because if I don't, then when the frame by frame animation starts, I'm only going to see the background on that first layer. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my eyedropper tool, turn background back on, eyedrop it so I get the exact color match. Then I will turn the background off, grab my paint bucket, and I will just fill in that color. For the sake of this tutorial, I am not going to mess with that fine line. What I might do is I might increase the size of this mark in order to stop that that halo, or I might take a little bit of time. I'll do it with this one. Oops. Where I go in and I fill in. A little bit more of those colors. I could also grab my magic wand. I could select one of the pixels individually. I could go to select, similar, and then I could paint them in. Okay, then I'll click Command D. So now I have less, now I don't have a halo that could be problematic visually. But for the sake of this demo, I'm not going to go through that tedious exercise for all 8 slides. I'm just going to show you how to do it in case that's something you wanted to do. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next layer, turn it on, turn off the previous layer, grab my paint bucket, fill in. All right, and we are almost done. Great. Okay, so I have my layers filled in, and I'm ready now to create a frame animation. So the really, really important part here is we go to Window, and we go down to Timeline. Okay, and then we open up this timeline pop-up. And right here we see Create Frame Animation, but I just want to show you, if you click this arrow, you'd see Create Video Animation. Okay, we'll learn about that in the next demo video. But I want Create Frame Animation, so I'll click that. Then I'll click on Create Frame Animation. Okay. Right now, all I'm seeing though is one frame. Okay, so the way that I access all the frames is I'll go over to this icon right here. There's 4 little lines that make up a kind of like a shape of a box. I'll click that icon and I will click Make Frames from Layers. Okay, I'm gonna click that. So now Photoshop has made a frame from each of the layers. And I can move this out of the way slightly. I'm gonna click play, and I now have an animation, okay? So that's frame by frame animation. Feel free to explore frame by frame animation. It's really, really fun. It is a little tedious, but it is really, really close to the way it used to be. So I think that that's pretty cool in a historical sense. And understanding frame by frame animation can help you with working in video animation when you create an action and you create a whole bunch of frames in your video animation. So grasping this concept will help you in even video animation. Okay, so that is there anything else I want to show you? There is. It's just very briefly. I'm going over it again in another video, but oh, nope, never mind. So that's it for frame by frame animation. I will see you in video animation. All right, thanks guys. Bye.